Hi, let's look at Power Query, one of the add-in provided by Microsoft in Excel 2016. This is available uh, as a built-in tool under Data tab of the ribbon and called Query. So in my data, I have all these expense, revenue, and GP lines that I want to categorize, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch Power Query Editor, which will categorize all this data grouped under these expense lines, revenue and GP lines into just revenue, cost, or GP, right? So I could launch the Microsoft Power Query Editor through clicking this button, Launch Editor, or I could hit Show Pane, and if I have a query, I can right click and I can say Edit. So we are going to edit this current query, which pulls data from a folder which has, so this is the folder, my source folder files, and it pulls all these data from all these 10 files, which is revenue, GP, and expense data for 10 months year to date made up numbers, right? And I have shaped this data I've shown you in my previous tutorials. So now, after looking at home transform ribbon, I want to show you what we can do in an add column ribbon. So here we go. All you gotta do is it's all click, 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 and you automate all these steps. So when new data comes in, come November data, come December data, I'm just going to drop that file in a folder where all these files are located and just have to hit refresh, and my November's financials will have all this information. So here we go. I've written the code before, but this is what we are doing. We say if my P&L line detail, which I showed you guys, the column which has all the expense items, revenue and GP, is total revenue, then call it revenue. Else, if P&L line detail is total GP, then call it GP. Rest all the items are expense. So you can add a column, you can do a conditional column similarly. So I'm just going to call it P&L line and hit OK. So just like an Excel table, you know, we will we would have done a formula in one cell and that would have carried all the way to all the cells. So over here you see the formula in the formula bar. You don't see it in each cell. But here's your new column and the data is categorized, right? So this is what we did. We did the add custom column function. We use the add custom column function. You can use index column starting from 0, starting from 1. So let's just hit index column. So here you go, all your rows are numbered there. And if you want to change it, you can change it to from 1, right? You can go back and delete the previous step because that added all the numbers from 0. And here's your index column, starting value 1 and ending value the last row. You can duplicate a column. Sometimes, for example, if I could find the date column, here we go. I want to get month out of this date. I want to get all that information. I can hit duplicate column and like an Excel equal to this, here's my duplicate column with all the values and I can modify this data. So format, this is something I like. So when I get client names, client names, there are about 61 columns here, it's all blank. But assuming we had client names in here, client names in here, I can do lowercase, uppercase, capitalize each, trim, clean, add prefix, add suffix, all that stuff. And this one is really awesome. So we are going to look at our file name, right? And I want to add a column where I can get the length of each value, each string in a cell by just clicking on this, right? And if I don't want it, I just delete it. And if I want the first three, which gives me the file name has the first three letters as the name of the month, So I'll extract it as a new column and just hit number 3, and here we go. It adds all the new columns in the end, as you would have seen. So similarly, yeah, you can get the first characters, you can get the last characters, you can get a range. So let's see, 1 2 3 4 5. I want the year part of it, right? So I think gotta do 4, and then there are 4 digits. So it's starting at number 4, so you get the 5th character, which is 2, and then you get 4 more characters out of that string. 2 3 4, yep, 5th one. So we can, remove all these steps that I added by just right clicking and saying blend. Just a quick overview. And the awesome part is, for example, here's my revenue column, right? So if I want to add, multiply, subtract, divide, get a percentage of, get a percentage, just these simple clicks will add new column with all these divisions, multiplication, subtraction, whatever we wanted. Into scientific calculations in here. I don't use trigonometry. You can round up, round down, round. You can see if it is even, odd, or even get a sign whether it is negative or positive. That, there we go, -1 plus just 1. Let's delete it. So this was a quick look of the add column ribbon, but this is not complete since we still want to look at our date stuff, which is pretty cool. And I'm going to cover that in a next tutorial. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.